The blade had waited longer than empires. It rested on a stone plinth inside the ruins of Kael'Thorin, an ancient world abandoned so long ago that even the stars around it had drifted from their original constellations. The ruins predated known galactic history. No records named the builders. No language fully translated their warnings. Only one truth was universally agreed upon. The blade chose its bearer. Countless species had come to Kael'Thorin seeking glory, power, or prophecy. Every attempt ended the same way. The blade remained unmoved, silent, unyielding, indifferent. That was why Tir Valon of the Ashen clan stood before it now. She was an alien warrior of legendary renown. Taller than most humans, her silver-blue skin was marked with ritual scars that glowed faintly under the ruins' ancient lights. Her species, the Valari, prized honor, strength, and lineage above all else. Tir Valon embodied every one of those ideals. She had crushed warlords, broken siege lines alone, lifted armored vehicles during battle without powered assistance. And yet, as she wrapped her hands around the blade's hilt, the ruin fell utterly silent. Tir Valon braced herself and pulled. Nothing happened. The blade did not budge, not a tremor, not a whisper of acknowledgement. Her muscles tensed, armor servos whining softly as she poured her full strength into the effort. Still nothing. Murmurs rippled through the gathered crowd. Scholars, mercenaries, priests, and observers from dozens of species. Tir Valon released the hilt slowly. Her jaw tightened, not in anger, but in disbelief. "I am worthy," she said quietly, more to the blade than anyone else. The blade did not answer. Behind the crowd, leaning casually against a broken column, a human artifact hunter watched the scene with mild curiosity and a faint, almost amused smile. His name was Elias Ward, and he hadn't even planned to touch the sword. The middle, when strength isn't enough. Elias Ward was not impressive by galactic standards. He wore worn exploration gear, carried a scanner older than some species space programs, and looked like someone who'd rather be anywhere else than standing in the middle of a sacred alien ruin. Humans were still newcomers on the interstellar stage, respected for adaptability, but rarely feared or revered. Certainly not chosen. Elias was there on a contract. Document the artifact, collect residual energy readings, and leave before the Valari clan's decided outsiders had overstayed their welcome. But fate, as it often did, had other plans. One of the Valari elders noticed Elias watching. "You find our trial amusing, human?" the elder asked sharply. Elias raised both hands. No offense meant. Just surprised. Surprised by what? Tir Valon asked, turning toward him. Her voice was controlled, but her eyes burned with wounded pride. That the blade didn't react at all, Elias said honestly. Usually ancient artifacts at least try to kill someone. A few startled laughs escaped the crowd. Tir Valon did not laugh. "The blade judges worth," she said. "Not humor." Elias shrugged. "In my experience, ancient tech judges intent more than muscle." The elder scoffed. "Are you claiming you understand what millennia-old creators intended?" "No," Elias said. "I'm claiming I don't assume I do." Something in that answer unsettled them. Against all protocol, Tir Valon stepped aside. "Then human," she said. "Prove your theory." Gasps echoed through the ruin. Elias blinked. "You want me to try?" "Yes," she said. "So the blade may reject you, as it rejected me." Elias hesitated. Every instinct told him this was a bad idea. Cultural offense. Diplomatic incident. Possible death. But something about the blade tugged at him, not physically, but emotionally. A quiet sense of familiarity. Like a tool waiting to be used, not worshipped. He stepped forward. No prayers. No declarations. No expectations. Elias placed his hand around the hilt and lifted. The blade rose effortlessly, not with light or thunder or dramatic flare, just a smooth, natural motion, as if it weighed no more than a piece of scrap metal. The ruin erupted into stunned silence. Then the blade hummed. Ancient glyphs ignited along its length, bathing the chamber in soft white gold light. Systems dormant for eons awakened. The air itself seemed to breathe. Tir Valon stared. You did nothing, she whispered. Elias frowned at the sword.
Ha!
Guess it still works. Revelation. Why the blade chose humanity. The blade projected images into the air, memories, histories, echoes of its creators. They were not conquerors. They were caretakers. A civilization that believed strength without restraint destroyed itself. That power divorced from compassion inevitably turned inward. The blade was not a weapon of dominance, but of responsibility. It rejected those who sought to prove themselves. It chose those who did not seek the choice. Elias listened in silence, understanding settling deep in his chest. We don't worship tools, he said quietly. We build them to solve problems. And when they become dangerous, we put them down. The Valari elders exchanged uneasy glances. Tir Valon stepped closer, her voice low. My people train from birth to be worthy of strength. Elias met her gaze. Humans train to survive it. That single sentence rippled through the chamber like a seismic wave. The blade dimmed, its message complete. It rested in Elias's hand, inert once more. He gently returned it to the plinth. I don't think it wants to be carried, he said. Just remembered. Conflict, pride, fear, and change. Not all Valari accepted what they had witnessed. Some saw insult. Others saw danger. A few saw opportunity. A human had activated a sacred artifact their greatest warrior could not. That challenged centuries of belief. Political tensions flared within days. Some clans demanded the blade be destroyed. Others wanted Elias detained, studied. Tir Valon stood between them. The blade rejected me, she said before the council. That is truth. But it did not dishonor me. Her voice wavered only slightly. It taught me. She sought Elias out later, finding him preparing to leave Kael'Thorin. You will go, she said. Yeah, he replied. That's usually how these things end. She hesitated. My people value strength above all. Today, we learn strength has context. Elias smiled faintly. Happens to us too. Every generation. She studied him, not as a warrior judging another, but as an equal seeking understanding. Would you teach me? She asked. Elias blinked. Teach you what? How humans carry power, she said, without letting it carry them. Ending, a blade, a bond, and a new legacy. Months later, Tir Valon traveled with Elias beyond Valari space. Not as his subordinate, not as his protector, as his partner. They explored ruins, deactivated weapons older than stars, and recorded histories meant to be remembered, not repeated. Wherever they went, stories followed. A human who lifted the unliftable, not through strength, but humility. An alien warrior who learned that honor could exist without domination. A blade that judged the galaxy and chose restraint. The Valari changed slowly, but they changed. Training evolved. Doctrine softened. Warriors were taught not just how to fight, but when not to. As for the blade, it remained on Kael'Thorin, untouched. No longer a symbol of power to be claimed, but a reminder of wisdom earned. One evening, beneath an unfamiliar sky, Tir Valon watched Elias clean his tools. You never claimed the blade, she said. Elias shrugged. Didn't need it. She smiled, a rare, genuine thing among her people.